Remember kids, always use protection. Alright everybody, what is up? What is up? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. We are back out on the lovely streets of Philadelphia on a fall day on the Harley Davidson Street Bob. And as you can see, we've already got the bike looking a little different. If you saw my last video, you saw the install of the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. This is actually my first ride since putting it on, and I'm liking it so far. Love the looks. Interested to see how the functionality goes. But that is not the point of today's video. We'll have more coming up on that eventually. Stay tuned for that. The point of today's video is we're talking a little bit about protective gloves. That's right, you might notice something a little bit different right now. I'm not currently wearing my Biltwell gloves. Currently wearing a different pair that we're going to talk about in this video. And it's interesting because this is probably my first attempt or experience with what I would consider to be more so like an actual leather protective motorcycle glove with like the knuckle protection and everything like that. This is actually my first experience with any of that, surprisingly. So you guys, you know, if you've seen me for a while, I've been tuning in for a little while, you know I've been wearing the Biltwell Bantam gloves. Pretty good glove, but I mean really just a very basic glove. You know, a lot of mesh in the front, little leather over top, a little bit of like leather rawhide on the palm for a little bit of protection. But for the most part, I always just wore those because I just like the way that the grip and the gloves feel when you're gripping the bars and controls and things like that. I'm assuming they wouldn't really provide much protection or anything like that. They're very thin, very basic, very minimal. Also, they don't provide much cold weather protection either, because basically they're, you know, kind of mesh on the top and on the front, and my hands did get pretty cold wearing those sometimes when I was down into like the 48 to like 55 degree type weather. But that has all changed now with a company called Fogy Garage. This is the glove I'm wearing right here. This is called their Ursus Chief glove, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this glove and how I got it. So luckily I was kind of in the market for some new gloves as we were getting kind of into some of these colder temperatures. Obviously southeastern PA, temperatures dropping down into like the, you know, the 50s, the 60s, get a little colder, your hands get uncomfortable if you're not wearing a good glove. And so surprisingly, in full transparency, this company, Fogy Garage, they did reach out to me, showed me the gloves, asked me if I'd be interested in taking a look at them, getting a pair, wearing them, reviewing them, giving my input, feedback on these gloves. And now I have had companies reach out to me in the past for some things, and honestly it was just kind of stuff that I like wasn't super interested in. You guys probably know a lot of companies out there that you see all the time around YouTube. Some of them want me to review like a oil pan, like a cup holder. I'm like, no, come on, that stuff's not for me. This is actually probably one of the first times that I've done a little bit of a partnership like this, is taking an item and reviewing it. But I do want to go ahead and give my full honest opinion on the glove, full transparency on them, give you guys honest feedback out there on the gloves. And so like I said, I connected with Fogy Garage on Instagram. They were kind enough to go ahead and send these gloves out to me, and I've been wearing them for several weeks right now, and I gotta be honest with you, I do like them a lot so far. Like I said, this is my first protective leather glove. We're gonna pull over here in just a second to give kind of a little bit more in depth, but I mean, for starters, wearing them while I'm riding is, you know, very good. I've got really good feedback through the bars, through the controls. It is a good, strong leather material, but they're not too bulky. They're not too, like, rough, I guess I would say. As far as my riding experience with them so far has been pretty good. I like the way they feel on the bars, like the way they feel on my hands. I feel in good control. Obviously, that's always very important when you are riding a motorcycle. So that's one thing that I have enjoyed about these so far is, like I said, these have been really good with the controls, handling of the grips in the bike. Also, they've been pretty good with cold temperatures so far. It's a really good, strong leather material that I've noticed. Again, my previous gloves with mesh in the front, I'm going to show you guys those too in a little bit here, but my previous gloves with mesh in the front got a little bit cold, but I've been wearing these seriously all the way down into like 45 on a couple of my rides to work in the morning, and they've been pretty good. I have not felt really any cold or bitterness on my hands, which is really important because, like I said, I had kind of been in the market for a glove that was going to be a little bit warmer through winter. So that's a little bit of the experience so far with actually riding them on the bike. Now let's pull over and take a much closer look at kind of the construction, the material, the build of the gloves. Alrighty, so like I said, first time with like an actual protective glove here. Like I said, I'm liking the ride with it so far. There are some things I do like and don't like about it. We'll go over these right now. So again, if you take a look at the construction, you've got a 100% bull hide leather here, and then on the inside you've got a Kevlar lining. So that's where a lot of the protection has come in so far. You know, you've got your leather material on the outside, you've got your Kevlar on the inside. The inside of these are also antibacterial, which is nice. You get out there on some of those hot days, you start sweating a little bit. If we flip it over into the palm, obviously you've got your reinforced palm impact points here, and then also a little bit reinforcement too here, because if you go down, that's going to be that first part that's most likely going to hit, that's going to slide. You're going to want some of that strong leather, strong protection right here. So then back to the front, like I said, this is my first time with gloves with actual knuckle protection. I've tried some on before, and the thing that I noticed is sometimes, depending on what it is, sometimes this is like a big bulky plastic piece and it kind of cuts in to your knuckles. Just when I tried some on, that's kind of what I noticed. But this is actually a protective foam, a reinforced protective foam here, which actually feels really good on the knuckles. When I go ahead and put these on, you can feel it there. It feels really good. It's not cutting into my hands or anything because it's a soft material. That's still going to provide some of that impact protection, of course, on the top of your hands. You do have a couple holes for vents right here. Again, still doesn't allow a lot of air in. That's why I have been liking these for the cold days so far. So like I said, good riding so far, good look. I do like the look, kind of like a vintage rustic sand brown type color. They do have these in some other colors as well. If you take a look at their website, I'll be sure to link down their info down in the comments. Now, if there's anything that I would say not necessarily a fan of it, not everything can be perfect, right? But like I said, I do like these a lot. In full transparency, I do really like these so far. I've been wearing them for about a month. I don't exactly like this particular design. I know that is kind of a little bit unique and custom to them. It's kind of like a drawstring pull to tighten them up. I don't really use it. I don't mind it. But as far as the look, not necessarily my favorite. That is one of the drawbacks, but that's not really going to deter me from wearing these. I think the positives far outweigh that. The other thing is the entryway here to get into the glove is a little tight. It is a little tight, a little hard to get into. These have started to break in for me over the past month or so. The break-in was actually pretty quick with these. Within a few rides, they really started to loosen up. Of course, they were a little stiff at first. Any leather material is going to be like that, obviously. Another thing to keep in mind, if you are interested in these gloves, they do run fairly small, so I would definitely recommend sizing up. I am normally a large in gloves, but I went ahead and got an XL with these particular gloves here. So one thing I did want to show you, just in comparison to my old glove, again, this is the Biltwell Bantam glove. Again, this is a much more simple, basic glove. You've got mesh here. This is by no means a comparison of these two. Just kind of showing you what I was coming from. Of course, you've got leather up here. You've got the rawhide down here as far as skid, but not any real impact protection. These would obviously get pretty cold in the cold winter months. You know, this is obviously open airflow right here. A lot good warmth here with the Fogy Garage Ursus Chief glove as compared to this. Another thing that I will say is obviously this is a Velcro strap here. Some of these that I have had have worn out a little bit. I do like the fact that this is just kind of like an open entryway here into the glove. Open it up, slide right in. You can't really have anything go wrong with any Velcro or anything like that, which is also a good point. So again, just a quick recap of the glove. Again, that's Fogy Garage, the Ursus Chief glove. We've got the bullhide leather on the outside. You've got the Kevlar lining inside. You've got the foam protection up here on top on the knuckles. Again, I would say so far fan of these gloves, I would recommend these. I do think they are a worthwhile glove. Go ahead and check out Fogy Garage on their Instagram, on their website. I'll go ahead and of course link that stuff up down in the comments. So I do think that's going to wrap this one up for now. Again, that's the Fogy Garage Ursus Chief glove. If you have any questions on this particular glove, any questions on the company, make sure you drop them down there in the comments. If you have any experience with these, let me know how you like them so far. I'm excited to keep wearing these into the colder months, fall, winter, stuff like that. Good protection with the leather and also some cold protection as well. So of course I do think that is going to wrap this one up for now. We're going to throw these gloves back on, keep riding for another day, another hour or two of riding left in this day. As always, make sure you ride safe out there. Be a friend, tell them to stop by, subscribe to the channel, and like this video. As always, we will catch you on the next one. Make it a good one, guys. It's the Moto Jawn. We'll see y'all on down the road. Peace.